I lost him. All right, we're going to continue on because she's been waiting patiently. Let's welcome the one and the only, Miss Kari Kimmel. And we finally got it together. How you doing, Kari?
Oh, my goodness. Hi. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Just, hanging out on a Thursday night.
So, actually, I was going through your Facebook stuff earlier, and I saw you actually were hanging out last night, it looked like, with the Foster's cast.
Yeah, that was a fun night. It was the series finale of the Fosters last night, so kind of sad, but it had a good run.
Yeah, that's I saw there was like tears being shed, and I was like, oh, that had to be sad.
Yeah, it was definitely, but it was really cool to be, with the cast and experiencing that like final, the end of the show with all of them.
Yeah, that had to be something. Like, I mean, what was it, 5 years the show lasted, and then, so
yeah,
I guess carry on in syndication now. So your music will continue to play on through that.
I suppose. I hope so. That's the plan, at least.
Now, before we get into the whole what you've made of yourself and where your musical career has gone, something that was really kind of wild and shows the true person of you and we're on Totally Driven Radio, so the quote unquote totally driven person of you is like you actually had like multiple record deals that like went nowhere. But you still continued on with music.
Yeah, I did. I had a record deal with Atlantic, and then I had another one with Virgin, and both were, different situations. The first one I opted out of, and the second one I got dropped. But either way, they didn't go anywhere. So, when I finally was released from everything, I decided to just kind of try it, doing everything myself. And, it was a little scary, but I figured, that I would I'd be in charge of basically if I, succeeded or failed. Right.
Now, like when you were like pursuing the musical career and looking like most musicians do, especially of yesteryear, we'll say. I'm not going to say that you're old, but back when times of record companies really meant something.
Oh yeah.
Were you like trying to become like a pop star? Like what kind of musical genre were you going for?
When I was first signed to Atlantic, I was quite young, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do or be musically. I knew that I loved to sing, I loved to write, and that was kind of the problem with my first deal, which actually has turned out to work out quite well for me now. I was all over the place genre-wise, and the label was getting me with so many different producers from like, R&B to rock to pop, and we couldn't really like settle in on a direction. And so after like a year and a half, I opted out and they let me go, which was great. But it was hard to find that place. And honestly, like it's worked to my advantage now because I do so many different genres and styles of music. And, with film and TV, which is what I do a lot of, it works great.
Yeah, how did you end up going in that direction with all the TV and music? I mean, you have a hell of a resume. So, how did you end up going into that direction?
It's funny. A lot of people ask me that, and I don't know that I can remember, the actual, pinpoint the one thing that, kind of brought me into all of that. But I remember having, co-writing with somebody who wound up getting one of our songs in, The Hills or something like that. And I remember thinking, oh, this is actually really cool. You can make money by having songs and TV shows, and it's, instant promotion, So I think I originally, unintentionally started, trying to get writing songs that were geared for, more film and TV, where more broader topics and production that really could work in different films and shows. And then there was a point that I started very deliberately trying to focus on getting placements. and meeting music supervisors and doing research on shows and seeing what kind of music different shows use, and, you know, and kind of like tailoring the production of some of my songs to fit certain shows. Even if it didn't wind up in that specific show, it would wind up in something else probably.
Now, do you end up like, is it more of you writing songs and then pitching the songs, or somebody coming to you, I need a song like this, and you're turning around and say, well, I have this, or is it more where somebody will say, like, I want you to write this, and you're writing something from scratch?
Well, it's a combination of both. I think it's probably a majority of the first, where it's, you know, I happen to have a song that works really great for a trailer or for a show or a film. But I do, especially now, get a lot of assignments as far as like theme songs or trailers or, you know, commercials, that kind of thing, where I'm hired to write something very specific for it. But it's probably still a majority of just I happen to have a song that fits great for, you know, a scene or a film.
Right. Now, are you the type of person that is like sitting in a studio like day in and day out, or is it something that's casual writing?
You know, my day is filled with like a lot of different things. I am in my studio a lot, but I'm not creating music all the time, or even as much as I'd like to be. I'm doing so much of like admin stuff, you know, like emailing and pitching, and more of like the, you know, kind of like paperwork without papers kind of a thing. Like lots of emails, and I don't know if you still call it paperwork when there's no paper, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely still creating a lot, and I have 2 kids, and they are crazy and fun, but they definitely make me have more of a structured schedule where, you know, I can't just like work in the middle of the night like I used to be able to, because I know I have to wake up in a few hours. So it's, you know, I definitely use my time wisely.
Now, was like your aspirations of being this musician, did you want to be like a touring musician out on tour, or I mean,
you know,
what you're doing,
yeah, it's interesting. I've never really wanted to tour, but I think initially, you know, when I signed my record deals and I got into it that way, I mean, I had the idea of, oh, I'm going to be like, you know, I don't know, like Kelly Clarkson or, you know, whatever. Like that was kind of my initial thought of what I wanted. And obviously it didn't work out. And to be completely honest, like that's not really the life that I think I'm cut out for. This is definitely way more the life that I'm cut out for. Like I love being in my studio. I love creating music. I love writing and being kind of in control of everything that I'm doing, and not having to be completely like in the spotlight, and, you know, being more behind the scenes. I really enjoy that. And while I like playing live, I've never really wanted to tour, and it's never been something I've been super excited about. So, you know, but yeah, in the beginning, that was probably, I think my goal was to just take over the world.
Right. Now, are you like also like, I mean, it's not just you, like you're like, I guess, repping, maybe even / managing like all these other artists as well. Is that what you're doing? Or?
Yeah. So I rep around 200 bands, as well as my own music for film and TV placement. And, you know, and it just kind of happened naturally. It wasn't really anything I was, you know, wanting to do or thinking I would ever do, but I was getting so many placements of my own, and bands were coming to me and asking me, you know, who places my music, and I would say, well, I place most of my own music, and they would ask if I would take them on, and, you know, for licensing. And then it just kind of like snowballed, where I was getting so many requests for things I didn't have, and then I was taking on bands that were completely unlike me and able to pitch and get them placements. And so now it's grown to like 200 bands, and I'm pitching a lot, and I have a team that helps me, you know, on that side of things to create, and I'm not just like pitching all day long, but yeah, that's definitely like a big part of what I do, as well as the creative.
So, I mean, technically, I mean, you're not just Kari Kimmel, singer, songwriter, mother. You are also becoming music mogul.
So, did I lose you?
No, you hear me?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, there you are. I lost you. I
Okay.
have no idea what you just said.
So you're like you're Kari Kimmel, singer, songwriter, mother, and music mogul.
Yeah, I guess so. That sounds good. I should put that on a business card.
Oh, it's too funny. So now I saw too you've done some like I guess background vocals for some people, and the one person I most definitely have to ask is Dave Grohl. What did you do with Dave Grohl?
Well, with him, so I do a lot of live kind of live events like the Grammys, and I sang with Ringo at the Grammys, and I did well for Dave specifically, I sang backgrounds for basically all the artists that were on the CBS Beatles tribute, which was
Okay.
gosh, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago now, but it was 50 years from the day from when they had been on the Ed Sullivan show, and
Right.
so basically me, two other girls, and then like Peter Frampton, Steve Lukather, just all these amazing musicians. We were all the house band, and we sang
Holy
with
cow.
everybody that night. So that night I sang with Dave, and that was amazing because he's just an incredible musician, and of course I've had a crush on him for however long, so that was fun. So yeah,
Oh,
but he
that's
was probably my favorite one actually to sing with that whole night. That was really cool to perform with.
wow, that's super cool. See, now I got to go back and find that and watch that again. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was one of those like surreal nights. We ended the night with singing, on stage with everybody that night, Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder and Pharrell and everybody. And I had already sung with them that night. I sang backgrounds for all of them that night, but then we all got on stage. At the very end singing Hey Jude, and it was like magical, honestly. It was amazing.
So how many times at that moment did you like say to yourself like, how the hell did I get here?
Yeah, I mean the whole night I was like, what is going on? This is insane. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Now something too, like you're out on the West Coast, correct?
Yes, I'm in LA.
I like as I was going through and I was like reading about you, and I'm like, I would have thought like by now you'd have been like a total Nashville person with how the Nashville is truly like music city, shall we say?
No, definitely not. I spent a little bit of time in Nashville before I came to LA, and I liked it, but it wasn't really for me. So it suits me a lot better here. I'm from Florida originally, and LA is a lot more like Florida. So I kind of feel like, I'm with my people. So I like it here.
That's awesome. So, and one more thing before we get into the new album and single and all.
Yeah.
You just posted, I guess maybe earlier or in the last couple of days, you have a band that you like let the secret out that you're in this band as well.
Oh gosh, yeah. So, yeah, I'm in a band called Luke, and it's basically my partner Joe and I, and we've done a lot of music for lots of projects, and we sort of kind of fell into this project. We started creating music. We actually originally were working on a Paramount film, and we just created this song that was so different from my artist music, and people were reacting to it in just such an incredible way. We're like, maybe there's something really cool here. Let's do a few more songs. And then, we hooked up with these guys that just wanted to take our band and run with it. And we've been played on K-Rock and a lot of radio stations actually, but most recently K-Rock, which was really fun. And I mean, we are a really new band. So we're kind of just starting out. Nobody knows about us yet, but I think that our music is very interesting and people are responding like really, amazingly. So it's pretty cool.
So what happens if this thing like starts to like pick up some steam and they say, "Oh, we want you to go on tour"?
I've thought about that. I mean, if it made sense, I'd go. Why not?
So
I have a laptop. I could bring my stuff with me.
There you go. That's everybody's doing it. Why can't you?
Yeah, exactly.
So the new album came out last week. It's called Golden Glitter. So Tell us about it.
Well, I started working on this album probably like last year, and I had done this, and it kind of started almost in the way Luke started, where I had this one song that I really loved, and I decided to do an album around it, and I just started creating more and more songs, and things were getting licensed for lots of different shows, and one of the songs was in a Victoria's Secret commercial, one of the songs was in that movie Blockers that just came out, and it was, I felt like I should probably do a full album and release it as a full album, which I did, and it's very like, every time I release an album, it's really different from the one I just released. So the last album, technically, that like I really released, where I put my heart and soul and everything into, was my album Black. And that, the title track for that was the trailer for The Walking Dead, and it's a much darker album, and it's kind of swampy and very like gritty rock, and this album is way different from that. It's very pop electronica. It's super hooky, DJ kind of stuff, some remix. Like it's just very different, and it's something that I just was in that mood, and I felt like creating an album that was, in that genre.
Now, which do you prefer more? Do you prefer more of that the pop style of the new album, or that swampy?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I love both of them. I absolutely love both of them, and I think I like performing the kind of more rock stuff because it's more fun to sing live. But as far as like writing, creating, even listening to, I love both of them. And the album before Black was more singer-songwriter. The album before that was like a little bit more pop country. Like everything has just got its own kind of, life and its own voice. And I really love all of it.
I'll tell you what though, like, I mean, I'm totally envious. I would love to be able to create music, period, but create all different styles and genres of music. I mean, that's just true talent.
Well, it's fun. I mean, I stay away from like hip hop and death metal. I don't do every genre, but yeah, I mean, I try to own the ones that I actually do, and it's super fun. I mean, and that was, like I said before, was my problem when I was signed to a label. That now I get to do whatever I want in whatever genre I want, and I'm not limited to it.
The album being the fact that it could be a death metal album, what will the name of the band be?
Right. The name of the band? Well, I think I'll probably stick with Kari Kimmel and Luke. I don't think I'm going to start another band. I think 2 bands is enough.
Actually, too, he's been quiet. He's usually pretty quiet during the interviews, but my co-host Nick, who's actually a huge TV movie guy, and he knows a bunch of your music and stuff, and he had a couple questions for you.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize someone else was there. Hello.
Yeah,
No, I'm usually pretty quiet, but I've been private messaging Bay, and I'm like, look, I might be about to embarrass myself, but maybe not, right? But I think I just watched you on Instagram today. Like
today, really?
Today, okay. So Did you recently do a video with Sierra Ramirez, and you played the theme song from The Fosters, and everybody was crying? And
yeah, that was last night.
Okay, so absolutely. That if I could explain to Bay, that's what I love about television. Everybody was sitting around listening to her sing, and they were bawling, and it's the end of their TV show, and they connected to it, and it's such a jarring and powerful song, and it goes so well with like the content of the show. It was just amazing, but it was completely random that this happened, and when I heard him say your name, I was like, dude, I'm sure I watched her on Instagram last night. Like,
it was completely random that you saw it? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
That's so funny. Yeah, that was a really cool moment. I mean, I didn't find out that I was actually going to go hang out with them until that afternoon, I had to go over to Freeform to do a performance there because they're going to air, or they're going to be putting something out next week with me playing the theme song live and cutting in, like, footage from the show. And then I'm friends with one of the cast members, and he was like, hey, we're having a party in the hills. You need to come. It's just the cast. And so it was awesome. It, worked out perfectly. And I just so happen to have my keyboard in the car because I just come from performing over at Freeform. So it worked out great.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Now, does that, like, a situation like that happen often where, you've done a song for a TV show where you've done the theme and all, and do you, like, strike up relationships with these stars of these shows that ongoing, or?
No, that's super random. That never happens. I actually knew Noah, who plays Jesus in The Fosters. I knew him from Florida, and we're both from Florida, and, like, I've known his family, and then, we kind of, like, reconnected through The Fosters, and it was really funny because I've known him forever, and then when he was introduced to the show, it was during another song of mine, like a different song of mine was playing when they introduced him as, like, the new, if you haven't watched the show, you probably don't know, but he actually, like, there was a character that a different actor played his character, and that actor left the show, and then he basically, like, became that character, and it was, like, kind of weird because people weren't really happy about it, but then everybody completely fell in love with Noah as the new Jesus, and so it worked out just fine. But when he was introduced, it was during my song, a different song, not the theme, and it was just very strange.
Oh, well, that is an amazing coincidence. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
That's some
hardcore
Fosters trivia right there.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So, all right, so the new album is out, and the first single video, which actually you had said too, it's in the movie Blockers. Yeah, how did that come to be?
Well, the music supervisor just called me and said, hey, your song Golden Glitter is going to be in Blockers. And I was like, okay, cool. That's basically how it happened. I think I had sent him my album, like a couple months before then, and like a pre-release of the album. And it just worked great for one of the scenes toward the end of the movie. And so, yeah, that's usually how it happens, actually. I just get a call like, hey, and sometimes I get the call like that day or the day before, like, hey, your song's going to be blah, 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 and sometimes I catch it and sometimes I don't, and other people tell me about it.
Wow. Okay, so here's the question. Black has been in a lot of stuff. It's been used by a wide variety, I think. Is who or where was it used where you wish you would have got to meet the cast?
It's a good question, but I mean, I'd have to say The Walking Dead. It's been in Justified. It was the promo for the show House. It's been a lot of things, but probably The Walking Dead. Even though I don't actually watch the show, I think it's like I've seen parts of it, and it's such like it has such this like cult following, and I think that would be my choice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. So, all right. So, where before I play the song and let you go, where should we send everybody to get to know more about Kari Kimmel, the music, and?
Well, the first place would be probably my web. What's that? Oh yeah. I would say the first place would be my website, because if you go there, you get a free song, and it's just like automatically sent to you. So that's KariKimmel.com, and it's KariKimmel.com. But I'm also on Instagram, and I'm also on Twitter, and I'm also on Facebook. But Facebook and YouTube, my hashtags are basically it's Kari Kimmel fan, because if you could believe it, Kari Kimmel was taken by somebody else. So yeah, we got that started a long time ago. So that's on YouTube and on Facebook, but you can find me on Instagram and Twitter and everywhere.
Awesome, Kari. This has been a lot of fun. I'm glad we finally got it together. And
me too.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Looking forward to hearing a lot more music from you. And please, when that death metal album happens, please let me know.
I sure will. You'll be the first one.
All right, we're gonna play high for everybody, so this way they can check it out and they can get a taste.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Take care.
Okay. All right, you too. Bye.
Dude, I don't think that people will ever understand how special, in my mind, that interview really was. Like, like I know lots of people really don't give a crap, but like the connections there, for me, are what makes things so special. You know what I mean? Like that show, that was the theme song to the Fosters, the Where You Belong. Okay, that show had its series finale last night. You know what I mean? Like the next day, she's on our show, and it's like, I don't know how to tell you. Like, you remember a long time ago, we had a conversation about when a show goes off the air, you kind of feel like you're losing friends. You know what I mean? And like the theme song plays into that. Like we grew up in an era where theme songs were important to shows. You know what I mean? And this is one of the few modern shows that has a real theme song. And it's just, to me, like, this was such a bigger interview than, you know what I mean? Like, it's magic again.
And honestly, another weird thing, too, like, where I guess it works out, is she was supposed to be on last week, and we ended up canceling last week's show because of the whole thing, but things work out in the end, you know what I mean?
That's crazy. That's really, I don't know, man. Like, to me, that's almost being a part of the TV magic, you know what I mean? Like, that's just our little contribution to it. Like,
they're being a part of the TV nation.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like remember when we had Orlando Jones on during the first season of Sleepy Hollow? You know what I mean? Like, come on.
That was one of the funnest interviews. I want to get that dude back on so bad. He would not sit. Remember that? We tried so hard to get him to sing I Will Survive. He would not do it.